Okay, this next story time is precisely why the men's want to get me banned from social media platforms, because I am definitely making an impact, and it's evident. So this screenshot, this is a woman. We'll call her Nini. Nini was sending a message to her friend. She says to her friend, "How do you get a man to suddenly go silent, withdraw, and stay on the other side of the house? Turn on BurbNBougie's YouTube videos. I effing love it here." Remember that really lovely romantic debate we had at our dinner date last night? Sis, I cannot make this stuff up. As soon as he walked in the bedroom, the next random video that started playing was a Morgan Stanley statistic being reviewed and explained by our girl, and why women are choosing lonely lives with our cats and dogs over a man. Instead of staying and engaging with me while he sees me packing and helping me and educating himself, he groaned his way into the bathroom and then retreated downstairs. And knowing his childish butt, he's going to stay down there all night, hoping his absence will manipulate me to go to him and try to comfort and coax his king baby butt back to the room. I stopped doing that a long time ago. He's already slept down there a few times and he ain't learned yet. Thank you, universe, for sending a replacement ASAP, as in a replacement that is not a man, safe, loving, kind, supportive, trustworthy, loving, nurturing, all of the good we want and need, none of the bad. So Nini sends me this screenshot, and I'm like, okay, what is going on with this? And who is this? Who are you talking to? A friend? And so she went on to explain who she was talking to. So I'm wondering, who is the man in this scenario? She says, so the man is my boyfriend, but after 5 years and no ring and no direction, I'm looking for a live-in nanny trade situation. I'm a flight attendant, single mom of 4. And I'm like, oh, okay, I get it. You were telling someone else this. Got it. And then I was asking her about the situation. How old are you? And the soon to be ex. She goes on about him. As a friend, he's cool and fun to be around on the surface. She says, we don't have any animosity between them. Okay, we created a whole blended family situation with my 4 and his 2, but after really getting honest with myself and him losing his condo and fully moving in with me, I recently had to come to the terms that the fact that he's always gotten the better deal out of all of this. Okay, Nini continues. I'm 40, he's 45, and totally directionless. She says, I thought I needed the help. And to be honest, when we first got together, I was so excited about him, and our relationship was much better than the rest. But really, it's just because he's nice, safe for me and the kids, and I know he won't beat my behind or be downright diabolical like several of my exes. And keep in mind, remember, I've said this, when somebody is slightly better by comparison, then that doesn't always mean good. She says, but he's still a king baby, just a more educated, polite, better looking, and better pedigree and more polished turd. She called him a polished turd. And he knows it. And I didn't know until recently that his mom, sister, and older girl cousin all infantilized him. And I'm like, oh, okay. So what's your plan? He got to go or not? And she says, he's totally irresponsible and lacks initiative and direction. And I'm so tired. He's got to go. And I'm like, when? She says, I need help. She says, I need help with the kids during my next training and first 6 months with my new airline. So by next summer at the latest. But if I can find someone to move in earlier and help with the kids, then that's when he's got to bounce. I'm like, does he know that? I mean, have you told him he has an expiration date? She says, I've been looking, childcare and finding someone you can trust is like mission impossible. It absolutely is. So many people are talking about childcare. Then she answered the question, does he know he has an expiration date? Did she tell him? She's like, yes, he will never leave on his own, but he doesn't take those conversations seriously. He hasn't had a reason to in the past. She says he ignores and fails to respond to a lot of my most important messages and conversations, or he will passive aggressively and half-heartedly comply to shut me up. If I told him to marry me right now or get out, he would. But girl, I don't even want it anymore. So I told him I've decided to choose polygamy. She said, I just got my own damn ring And when I dispose of him, I'm going to have a ceremony also. She continues with, after all I've been through, all caliber of males, starting with my narcissistic, abusive father, who's a bishop in the church. I'm over all of them. And I've told Dee during our last date that I'd rather have a dog and cat than male companionship. Dee told me 2 years ago that if it weren't for the kids, I would have a ring by now. But little does he know that if it weren't for all the kids, he wouldn't even be allowed to breathe my air anymore, as in be anywhere near me. We had a failed surprise pregnancy last year, and I'm still dealing with the trauma and mourning. He had zero compassion for that, and I don't think I would ever forgive him. He's been mostly emotionless. He's been mostly emotionless with me. He doesn't compliment me anymore, and he's made mention of my weight gain. I was 135 pounds when I met him. I'm 155 pounds now. You're right. Ashy men will make you fat. He hates my stomach. I never was his dream girl, and now I'm even less. If I'm less, if it. I'm sorry. I'm less of it. I'm the forever space holder. So now I've decided he is the temporary space holder, and I'm very actively looking for a replacement. So then I asked if I could use her story for story time. She continues with, I used to praise him and tell him how much I appreciate him, and I stopped because it's never reciprocated, and he rarely compliments me. In the beginning, I really appreciated his support and wouldn't be able to build my flight attendant career without him. My family ain't they all revolve around my toxic, abusive, piece of S man of a godfather and my mother who's decided to remain his punching bag and never protect me. So anything is better than that cesspool of a family I chose to leave. I did his taxes for the past decade. I got him mad refunds, grants, etc. As gifted as he is as a musician composer, he could be making triple that. He passively making triple what he passively earned because he has no discipline or ambition. Insert resentful groan here. Oh, okay. I inserted that. She says, I've been a struggling singer and commercial actor for years, also working a job to provide stability for my 4 children. And he has it so easy and does nothing with it. And when I would try to get him to, he would ignore, reject, and get mad like a petulant child. He literally comes from music royalty and does nothing with it. I was like, if you would just work with me, it would be so good for all of our kids. She says, he's just going to be comfortable right where he is. So I'm just going to go my own way once again. And now I'm tired and over all of them. She says, I want a single mom, golden girl situation. I could have been a homeowner and had a few Airbnbs by now waiting on his lazy procrastinator. But, okay. So this is where she's really starting to get the realization of things that she could have done. And this is where we also go wrong as women, pouring into these people's potential, pouring into them when we could be pouring into ourselves. And that's the realization that she's having right now. She says, when I lost the baby, actually it was in 2022, I said the wrong date before, he got me a Saab, my favorite car. Then this summer he took me to Jamaica, but at the same time, he doesn't pay bills. He refuses to budget and he refuses to combine finances and have a joint plan. So I know we're always paying bills and taking care of all the kids first. He also refuses to get renter's insurance and he won't insure any of his instruments is what she finished with. But this part right here, this part where she is really real with all of us, I'm very well aware that if he meets his imaginary dream girl, he will cheat big time. And I will be forced to kick him out because he will become unreliable. And that's one thing he's been, for the most part, reliable. Or if he gets a sugar mama he's actually attracted to with good money, I'll probably be left high and dry. So I'm trying to level up as fast as I can so I can drop him first. She says, I'm looking forward to having the last laugh. So I am in scene with this one. When she follows up, she says she will update us all. Go ahead and join the conversation. Like, comment, share.